Hi everyone, my name is Gideon and very welcome to this episode of City Ripple. In today's episode I thought I'd quickly talk about why I want to do strength training as opposed to, let's say, fitness training. I want to talk about what program I'm going to do, what program I'm going to follow, and lastly how I'm going to track my progress over the next 12 weeks, 3 months. So first of all, why am I doing this? And this is an important question to stand still at for a while. It's easy to confuse why you want to do something and how you're going to do something. The how is quite simple. That's almost like a recipe. Getting bigger, smaller, skinnier, stronger, faster, all of those things is quite well documented and you can just pick one and follow it. But until you decide why it is you want to do it, you're wasting your time. You can listen to 100 people, including me, telling you why they do it, but you actually need to stand still for a while and decide why it is you want to do it. So I want to do it because I've always enjoyed strength training, and you see people exercise and you can see they hate it. Why would you want to do it if you don't enjoy it at all? For me, going from the office into the gym for 45 minutes to an hour, 2 or 3 times a week, it just releases a different kind of energy and gets rid of a different kind of frustration that I've never felt in running or, God forbid, swimming. And people that do that, they talk about this headspace when they run or when they swim, and I just never felt that. I always feel frustrated by the fact that I'm not fit enough. So I've always leaned towards the strength training side. But again, it's a very personal thing. Then we know that, if you look at people becoming really ill, there is a sense of good fortune that comes with growing old healthily. And it's just because I think our bodies are so complex, we don't exactly understand what are the factors that make us ill, except for the obvious things like smoking and like drinking to the point where your liver fails. But strength training, I think, is just a really good hedging your bets against like normal frailty or wear and tear of becoming older. So weakness and like just frailty. So that's one reason why I also prefer to do strength training. And then lastly, if you go to the gym, you think about aesthetics. You want to look a certain way. You want to look either stronger or skinnier, or there are certain changes that you want to make. So there's an element of that as well. I will be lying if I say that's not the case. And then the program that I'm going to use is called Strong Lifts 5x5. It's a relatively old protocol for strength training. People have been using it for years, but this guy, he just obviously saw a gap and he packaged it into an app on both Apple and on Android. I'll put a link in the notes below. Brilliantly executed, both in terms of the information that is on there, user experience, really good. You see a lot of people using it now, really good reviews of it online. A bit of criticism, but I think the criticism is mostly from people that have been training for quite a while, which I haven't. So really good for beginners and for people that is coming back after quite a while of training. I can't recommend it enough in terms of a place to start. Then lastly, I'll quickly... this is actually something that's been bugging me in the gym, is that there is quite a disparity between, if you look at the fitness equipment and the weightlifting room. It seems like this invisible line that women generally feel uncomfortable to cross, which I get. I guess it can be a little bit intimidating walking into a room full of guys exercising, and there will obviously be the odd arsehole that makes you feel uncomfortable because he's staring at you. But you know what? Like walking into a room where everybody seems to know what they're doing except you, that's awkward for everyone. and I think that's the biggest part of it. So I don't think you should keep yourself locked to the cardio equipment and to the circuit. A lot of it is not as effective as lifting free weights, and it is, once you get it, it's more fun. So I would really implore you to do whatever you have to get in there. If you need an instructor to take you through the first couple of weeks just to take the edge off the awkwardness, then do it. If you have to go with a friend, ask a friend to go with you, but really don't not do it just because of feeling awkward. Anyway, so I quickly want to talk about how I'm going to track it, but it's probably easier to show you on the computer. Okay, so we have a bunch of graphs on screen here, which I would quickly take you through. It's obviously my own strength, but City Ripple Strength Tracker sounded much more formal, so went with that. The 6 exercises down here are the exercises that form the very core of the Strong Lifts program. All compound exercises looking at bigger muscle groups, so your legs, your back, your chest. Bigger muscle groups are it's better to train compound exercises if you want to get strong quickly. Then each of these graphs are broken down into categories: beginner, novice, intermediate, expert, and elite. I found this on quite a cool website called strengthlevel.com. They give you strength levels for both genders at different body weights. So I used, although I'm 84 kilograms at the moment, I'll hopefully drop that quite quickly and settle, I'll guess, at around 80 kilograms. So this is for 80 kilogram male. My own performance, and quickly, this is my 1 rep max. A 1 rep max is exactly what it sounds like. For each exercise, so let's say for example for the deadlift, if I walked up to 124 kilograms, I would probably only be able to lift it once. That is your 1 rep maximum. Now, these figures are theoretical in that you don't want to, on day one, before you even start training, try to lift your very, very heaviest weight. There's a chance that you might hurt yourself. So you use this little calculator on strengthlevel.com where you put in, you take a little bit of a lighter weight and you do as many as you can. You put all of those achievements onto the calculator and it spits out a theoretical strength level for you. Now, of course, these aren't 100% accurate, but it de-risks the whole process of you getting hurt on day one because you're not fit enough yet to do so. And it's just the direction of travel. I mean, over 6 to 12 weeks, you'll definitely see progress. And at those later points in time, you can try to do your true 1 rep maximum. As we can see, for the first 4 exercises, I sit in the novice category, which is obviously really good for your own ego to see that you're not as strong as you thought. Bench press and pull-ups are within the beginner category. So it's interesting because for my bench press, I've always had a recurring injury in my shoulder, my left shoulder, that creeps back every time I get back into exercise. And always when I bench, at some point it just goes clack, and it's always been my weakest exercise. Now for pull-ups, I don't know why it's this low. I think it's probably because I gained a hell of a lot of weight in the last couple of months. So that is quite low. Of course, if you've got to measure something, you need to stick a target onto it. So as you can see, I just like to creep up one category. So for these 3, I just want to go from novice to the beginning of intermediate. All of these are roughly 20% increase in my current performance, except for squat. I don't know why the novice category is that big. The intermediate starts at around 128 kilograms, and that's a 30% increase, which I doubt if I'm going to be able to make in 12 weeks time. So I just stuck a more doable 120 kilograms there. The reason why this jump for pull-ups is so big is that I think it's the only body weight exercise of the lot, which means you get stronger, which will take you, say, halfway there. But if I do it correctly, I will hopefully lose weight, which means I'll be able to pull it a little bit easier up the bar, which will get me to the target. Now, one thing that I think a lot of people neglect to talk about when they talk about their own strengths and their own performance is it's called muscle memory. So the theory is that if you've been stronger or fitter before in your life, it is easier to get back to that point, and then from there the increase goes on. But yeah, so my personal best is somewhere, I don't know the exact amounts or exact numbers, but I would gather about roughly 10% stronger than I am now. So halfway to my target. So it's just for transparency's sake. I've been stronger before. It's going to be relatively quick to get back to that point in time, and then from then on the increases become more difficult. Right. Okay, so there you have it. In short, I'll be doing strength training for the next 12 weeks using the Strong Lifts program, and I'll be tracking it against some targets that I found online. I'll put down all the links, all the relevant links in the bottom, in the notes section. Is that it? Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any friends that you think will find this interesting, or you do, please subscribe, send it around, and any questions, just put it in the comment section below. Cheers.